I saw this story in the LA Times, and I was thinking about it, that Patrick Larimore is a now former UCLA linebacker. I think he started since he was a sophomore. And you know where I am on concussions. With the stories we've had, we had Palomalu on. He said, I don't know how many I've had. 9 documented. We've talked to other people about this with the concussions. And I saw where he had to retire or felt the need that it was time to retire because of concussion. So imagine you're going into, I believe, his senior year, and you have to, he's defensive MVP for this team. And you have to say to your teammates, I can't play anymore. I mean, this isn't a 10-year NFL veteran. It's a college kid. And Patrick Larimore joins us now. How are you, Patrick?
Hi, Dan. I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me on the show today.
How did you come to this decision?
It was very difficult for me. The past 2 weeks have been, very tough. I had a concussion at the start of camp, and it really weighed on my mind, and I had to fight, internally, even with my parents. But it was very tough, and I ultimately felt like I was really letting my teammates down, and that was what really hurt the most. But I had to make the decision.
How was that meeting with your teammates when you said, "I'm done with football"?
At first, I thought I was letting them all down, but I knew right away that they were more concerned about my long-term health, which was a huge, relief to me. And also I want to make it, known that, the UCLA coaching staff and UCLA as a whole was very, very positive towards me and really took the time, was cautious with me, bringing me around, bringing me back, and it's very important. I don't think that's how it is everywhere in the country, and I just wanted to recognize that.
The conversation with your parents, you alluded to that. How was that?
Right. Well, part of what happens when you get a concussion is, you go through personality changes and a lot of mood swings. And, over the past 2 weeks, I went from, talking to my parents, them trying to, tell me to stop, and to yelling at them, to, not trusting them. It's just a wide range of, emotions that I was going through. I appreciate, to be so lucky to have a family to help me through a time like this, because, it was such a hard decision to make. And I imagine that there's kids, elsewhere throughout the country that, are going through similar things, and, that might not have the support that I have. I just want to do the best I can to, spread some knowledge on this issue.
How bad were the mood swings?
Very bad, horrible. And it kind of happens, at random points throughout the day. Another thing that happens with concussions is, it can be very difficult to sleep. And there's just a lot of, there's a lot of confusion, and, you're usually isolated from the team, which, also creates a situation where you don't feel like you're with your brothers anymore. You want to be out there with them, and, that can make it worse.
And plus the position you play, you're supposed to be the toughest guy on the field. You're a linebacker.
Right, definitely. Linebacker, is the most amazing position in football. I can't even explain it. It's amazing to go hit people and to have that opportunity to just go and let loose every day. And I think part of what's important to understand here is that there's no reason to point the finger at anybody. In terms of blame. Concussions are going to happen in football. It's about being open and being able to communicate to trainers and, letting student athletes know that it's okay to come forward with a concussion.
We're talking to Patrick Larimore. He's the former UCLA linebacker joining us, Dan Patrick Show. How weird is it to hear that, the former UCLA linebacker?
Man, it's really weird. I can't, it hasn't even hit me yet.
How tough is it going to be week one? What do you got, Nebraska coming up week one?
We have Rice, actually.
Okay. And then
it's going to be very hard. I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch it, but it's important to me to get back around the team soon. And even though I won't be able to play, I've been with my teammates this whole year, and I've really seen the commitment and the change, and just being around the program for the last year, it's really been an opportunity just to see how a real team works and how real efficient coaches are, and it's just been a real opportunity for me. And I know that even though I can't play, I have confidence that my teammates are going to be very successful.
How many official concussions have you had?
I've had 6 total.
How many unofficial?
I'm not sure what you mean by unofficial.
That you weren't diagnosed, you get a stinger, you get your bell rung. Troy Polamalu said he's had 9 documented concussions, which I can't believe that with the way he plays, and he's a lot older than you. And he said, I probably had 50 to 100 that were not documented. Right.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot of undocumented head injuries that occur, at the NFL level for sure, but, in college and in high school too, it's got to be very prominent. And I think that that's an area where, there's not enough information right now and people aren't not being exposed to it.
How concerned are you about brain damage right now with these 6 concussions?
I'm not really, I haven't really been able to, think about that a lot. There's not a lot of information out there where I can, go and get it, that something like that tested. But I'm interested in the future and trying to help spread knowledge to help other people like that.
You said you had the mood swings. How do the mood swings go away now?
Well, the symptoms go away with time, and the time can vary. The spring concussion I had, I had symptoms for almost 3 weeks after it, but it varies. Would you let your kids, if you have kids, play football? I love football so much that I can't really describe it. There's, it's such a beautiful sport, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have played it because it's made me into such a, I've got so much better work habits. I really know how to work and how to compete because of it. So I can't sit here and say that I'm not going to let my son play because if my son is anything like me, he's going to do anything to get out there. Well, you know why you made the right decision? Why? Because you made the decision. A lot of times athletes don't get the opportunity to make a decision that affects him, short-term, long-term. So if you made the decision, you made the right decision. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dan. Good luck with this, and it's going to be really, really tough that first week. And you don't even you haven't it hadn't even factored in yet. You're not on the team. You're former linebacker. You're going to be there so jacked up on that first game. You're going to be jumping out of your skin. I know it's going to be a very exciting moment, and I'm really looking forward to the start of the season. Maybe if you see Matt Barkley on the street, you just pop him one for just old time's sake, right? Maybe once. All right. Hey, congratulations on the decision. I know it's tough, but good luck, more importantly, with your health. Thank you, Dan Patrick. I appreciate you letting me come on the show today. You're welcome. Patrick Larimore, former UCLA linebacker. I know this is not a story that plays, it's not getting tension nationwide, but it's important to me. It was important to me. And I think what we do on this show, the guests we have on, and we've been working on that for a week. We had to get his confidence that we would handle this correctly. UCLA wanted to make sure. And I think that he's going through an awful lot. People don't talk about mood swings with concussions. You have not heard that. It takes a lot of courage to do what he did. And that's why I wanted to have him on. He plays linebacker. Linebackers don't quit, retire, leave. They stay with their teammates. With your brothers, as he said. It's a lot of courage. It is a lot of courage. And you know what? It's going to be a tough couple of months here for him. Because he's going to look at that defense. And he's going to say, I should be out there. He'll fight the temptation to want to play again.